Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Tom, I am playing Dimir Faeries. Tom gave me an open door to play whatever Pauper Fairies deck I like the most, and right now it's Dimir. The black removal, just too good. Unconditional, make that thing dead, of cast down and snuff out. You even get main deck Edict for decks like Bogles. I like this a lot better than red right now. Getting your Screds big enough to kill 4/4s might not happen fast enough with all the affinity around, and Garmag Angler's back, Gear Seeker Serpent. Like, there's a lot of big creatures that you can't really rely on red removal to get it done. This list is nothing fancy. I pulled this from the most recent Pauper Challenge. This list got second place. There's none of my own innovations. I have been working on other formats, so I'm just going to trust the experts, or at least recent results with specific sideboard compositions. If you're new to Pauper or the Fairies deck, basically the engine here is Spellstutter Sprite gets to counter spells, and then you pick up Spellstutter Sprite with Ninja the Deep Hours to draw cards, and then you get to counter more spells with Spellstutter Sprite, and the rest of the deck basically exists to support that interaction. Fairy Seer is a 1-drop that smooths out your draws, gets Spellstutter Sprite to counter bigger spells, and it's an evasive creature that can pick up Ninja if you don't have a Spellstutter. Augur of Bolas. The running joke with this card is look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck, but some amount of the time it does put a spell in your hand, and then if you connect with Augur, you can pick it up and draw a card with Ninja, then get another card maybe with Augur of Bolas. Also, 1/3 is a pretty big butt in Pauper. This will help in all of the aggro matchups, hold the ground against things like elves and goblins and etc. Got your Pauper cantrip suite for Preordain, because that's the best one in the Pauper format. Compared to Legacy, where Brainstorm is the best one, followed by Ponder, and Preordain barely gets played, it is the opposite in Pauper because the shuffle effects are worse. Brainstorm only really goes off if you can reliably shuffle away the cards you don't want. Ponder, very similar. You need help to work your way through a Ponder. If you only want one of the 3 cards you see, you have to draw those other 2 eventually. Preordain gives you complete control over all of the cards that you see. If you want them both, keep them both on top. You want one, keep it on top, send the other to the bottom. You want neither, send them both to the bottom. No support required. Because as you can see here, we have 3 Terramorphic Expanses and 2 Ash Barrens, and those are the ways we can shuffle our deck. That is not particularly inspiring, and both of them cost mana one way or the other. This one costs actual mana, and this one the land comes into play tapped, which kind of costs you mana. There's some tricks you can do where you can like brainstorm a spell to the top, then put that spell back in your hand with Augur while clearing the other card. That does exist, but in general, cantrip lesson of the day. Preordain is the best one in Pauper because the shuffle effects are much worse than they are in Legacy and Modern. Don't know why I said Modern. All of these cards are banned in Modern. Legacy or Vintage. So the reason you see 4 Preordain and 1 Ponder, 1 Brainstorm, and Vintage is because Preordain's the only one that's not restricted. We also got some of the most powerful counter and removal spells in Magic's history in this deck. 4 actual counter spell, 4 snuff out, just 0 mana, your thing's gone. See you later. At the top end, we got Thorn of the Black Rose to draw lots of cards and help turn these removals into threats. You can use your removal spells to protect your monarchy, and eventually you'll draw into threats. You can even pick up Thorn of the Black Rose with Ninja and then replay it and become the monarch again. Though, if you're ninjutsuing, I imagine there's a good chance it's going to connect and you get the monarch that way. But it's a thing you can do. And 2 Garmag Anglers to really turn the corner when the board is stable. How I think this is going to go, the Boros bounce deck is the second most popular deck. The Dimir Fairies is the #1 deck in Pauper right now, at least on play numbers, according to MTG Goldfish. I don't know if it's the winningest deck, but it is getting the most play. The Boros bounce deck can be tough. That deck is full of 2 and 3 toughness flying creatures, where our whole thing is like connecting with a 1/1 flyer over and over again, or a 2/2 on the ground over and over again. So we gotta line our removal up well with that. Tron is kind of back in the format. There's a combo Tron deck. Expedition Map was recently unbanned in Pauper as an experiment. Then there's Bogles, Burn, and Goblins. I kind of like all of those matchups. Bogles can be tough, but you gotta basically buy time until your edicts pop off. Maybe you could catch a Bogle before it gets bigger with the Suffocating Fumes. Unlikely though, but there are more edicts in the sideboard for that. So I'm a little worried about the Boros matchup, but everything else, this is nuts and bolts blue-black control in the Pauper format. Let's do it. I'm on the draw in round 1. I'm going to keep this hand. I have lands and spells, and getting the access to your splash color early is important. Uh-oh. On the draw against Bogles for round 1. Let's do this, I guess. I'm going to spend this game frantically digging for my one-of main deck Chainer's Edict, and hope it's not too late. Anyway, I was saying about this hand, with the blue base fairy decks in Pauper, you generally want access to exactly one tip of your splash color. So in this case, it's black. I have 1 swamp now, and I recognize the counterspells in my hand, but I also recognize that it's not going to be an important aspect of this game. I'm going to augur because I think digging is more important than maybe countering a spell with Spellstutter Sprite, and those are really the only 2 plays available here. I do have a lot of cantrips here, but yeah, now they're going wide on me. In trouble. Okay, now I have to clear the 1/1 and then Edict, which, yeah, this game is it's getting bad. Preordain, Snuff Out doesn't help. Bottom both of those. Fairy Seer. I think so. Tricky thing here. I do have the shuffle to clear the 2 cards off Ponder if I don't want them. I can also just shuffle Ponder if it's not Edict specifically. But I just put 4 cards I don't want on the bottom of my deck with the... Between Augur and Preordain, there's 4 cards on the bottom of my deck that if I shuffle, those are back in the pool of cards I could draw. I actually think Brainstorm is better here, though. I'm probably gonna end up shuffling anyway, but... And if they put a lethal thing on the stack, I'm gonna have to just counter it. They're gonna put me to 4 here, and their creature has trample, so I'm not sure what out I'm playing to at this point. Snuff Out doesn't help. Ninja doesn't help. Now I have to do the shuffle. Like, just getting different cards is going to be worth taking the shuffle. All right, and we're dead. Yep. On the draw versus Bogles, game 1. Welcome to that experience. Now we bring in the Chainer's Edicts. Load up on those. Echoing Truth may seem like a weird one, but bouncing the auras, even if you can't bounce the Bogle, can mess up combat. Suffocating Fumes. On the play, there's a chance. It also helps sweep up the go wide, so you can edict the big one. Unexpected Fangs. I imagine this is kind of a new development in the Pauper technology zone. I don't have this card yet in paper, which means that I've never seen it before, because I try to keep this deck built IRL. And never seen this one. That could help swing a race, just fanging up a Gurmag Angler and going to town. Like, that's something. I'm going to rank my sideboard options like so. I'm going to make room for these 4. This one, 99%, and this one, if there's a card worth cutting, I'm going to do that. Okay, there are creatures you can target in this deck. I think they play the new, like, Elvish Visionary Dog, and I'm brain farting right now, but I'm pretty sure there are targets for regular removal in the deck a little bit, but that's still most likely the cards that I want the least of. And maybe this is just a clean sideboard map of the 6 spot removal spells out and these 6 cards in. I like Thorn because it has Death Touch. Like, that's what I'm doing with that. And if I ever start drawing cards, then the game gets buried. But the Death Touch blocker I like a lot. That's why I'm prioritizing Thorn here. Dispel, Hydroblast, Stormbound, Geist, Relic, all of those, not interested. Yeah, I think I'm going to hold on to the Echoing Decay and the 2 Fumes to sweep up the go-wide creatures rather than any spot removal at all. Okay, on the play here with... There's no Edict here. I do have lands and Preordain. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to keep this. I'm going to play Ice Tunnel tapped, pass the turn. They're probably going to play a Bogle. Then I can hold up Counterspell to slow down the Bogle next turn. And then I can Preordain on 3 mana on turn 3. So I can Preordain into an Edict at that point, or at least have looks at it. And I get all the natural draw steps in between here and there. And I'm just going to like counter anything. They're probably casting bait spells. Like you don't lead on your best spell against the blue deck. Oh, wow. All right, I'm not sure if turning on the color, I guess that one also cantrips, but having Rancor out of the mix, I'm a big fan of. Another counterspell. I get to Preordain here. Thorn and Expanse. I don't think I can jam Thorn next turn. Yeah, I think this is just a bottom. I mean, I could jam Thorn next turn. I just think it's bad. That's what I mean by I don't think I can. I know I can. Because they have some number of trample effects, and I have no good way to get the thing back. Or the Monarchy back. I'm going to counter this one because Cartouche specifically brings a 1/1 with it, which messes up my Edicts. And they're just in for 1. Hey! Edict with Counterspell backup. And then Joe Garmaggio can arrive next turn. I'm not sure what's in their hand. If they didn't go wide and didn't add any auras last turn, it just snap off Counterspell on that too. They did have just 3 Bogles this game. All right, Faerie Seer, what's up? All right, let's do a count. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in my graveyard. I'm happy to exile. I want to leave the Edict in there. And then, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Yeah, I can do everything I want to do this turn. Faerie Seer, let's get a peek. Brainstorm and Spell Stutter. Do I want these? I mean, if they just like unload 2 cracked auras right now, I mean, I have a 5/5, but it can't block this one. All right, I'm gonna put Spell Stutter on top and Brainstorm on top of that. And I'm just gonna go Hellbent, let them know what we're working with here. Here are my creatures. I put the Brainstorm on top of the Spell Stutter because I can Brainstorm into Spell Stutter if I want that. And if I don't want that, then I can just take a turn off, draw a Spell Stutter. Okay, they're down to 1 card in hand. That Gut Shot. Trying to be a little reactive here, which I hope punishes them. And I am going to start attacking. I'm winning this race, and they clearly didn't have an aura. Yeah, we're just cracking back and forth now. Now I draw the Spell Stutter. I can Brainstorm now, or I can chill. I think I'm going to chill. Though cards like Augur and stuff make me want to do it now. All right, yeah, I'll do it now. Okay, put back these islands and then cast Ponder. Almost certainly just going to shuffle. Ooh. Thorn. Oh no, they have this Solana Ledgewalker. Thorn is not an option here. Maybe Thorn is bad. Just thoughts occurring in my head right now. +1/+1 and Vig. This one is a bad one to counter because it can just come back. I'm still winning the race. Get in with my Gurmag. You're going to have to start blocking very soon here. And I'm going to cycle Ash Barrens. With Edict in my graveyard, I think just cycling it, getting the land, is better now than trying to wait until I find a Brainstorm or Ponder and maximize it like I normally would. Okay, they're going to have to start chumping this turn. Okay, cool. They have to chump with one of these, and then I can Edict the other. Okay, there goes Ledgewalker. And land number 7. All right, yep, they're just conceding to land number 7. That one felt good. That's the difference between Edict and not Edict. Yeah, I don't think I want Snuff out just in case they cartouche me. That's what the Suffocating Fumes and Echoing Decay are for. One of the Black Rose actually was a huge liability every time I drew it that game. That might have been just because they were had the evasive thing and were a little bit wide on me, but I don't think I have a better card to bring in. Like I could bring in Relic and just to cycle it, and it could clip a Rancor here or there or a Sentinel's Eyes. And it'll eventually draw a card. Yeah, maybe that's something. Okay. Yeah, controlling Rancor and Sentinel's Eyes are not irrelevant. Not sure on this one, personally, but let me know in the comments if you have thoughts. Edict in the opener. I'm keeping this. Abundant Growth. Wow, didn't even lead on a creature. They might be planning to just go wide from the start. Like if they start on Card Draw Dog, then, oh god, what are they doing over there? They just have a handful of gut shots. They did mull to 6, but I don't know. Stuff doesn't look good. All right, I'm going to Augur, because holding up Spell Stutter when I have Edict in my hand and they're, oh god, and they're representing gut shot, not exciting. Also, look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck. What's up, Augur Bolus? I'm going to Ponder, like to hit a land drop and keep this thing moving. Nope, no chance. I'm going to shuffle this up. Land? Nope. Bad times. It sure is nice they haven't done anything for the whole game. If they can cartouche immediately or play a second creature immediately. Oh, wow. Nope, they're just declaring what they have and Edict you. They get their Rancor back. Yeah, Augur and Ponder both missing. Pretty brutal. Oh, Young Wolf. All right, that is another thing that can be controlled by Relic, so don't mind the Relic here. All right, Ponder. Ponder sees more cards than Preordain. Oh, wow. That's almost what I want. Okay. I definitely want the land. Probably want to tuck an Edict behind it. Okay. Do not shuffle. Play Terramorphic Expanse. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the land comes into play tapped, so I'm 1 short of casting Gurmag right now. All right, I think I'm going to go on the like Gurmag plus Fangs plan starting next turn. Ancestral Mask. Yikes. That's a big boy. All right, I guess I'm drawing Chainer's Edict. Never mind. Can't Edict and block, so... All right, I can't Edict and Gurmag. So I'm going to Edict. This at least clears the mask. They get their Wolf back and their Rancor back. And I know I don't want the card under this. I might have to fetch my second Swamp here, which is like really awkward and not something you generally want to do. Oh god. Dillo Cloak. Oh, the race is on. Do I want to just absorb 3 damage here? Maybe, probably. Does that matter? Seeing this Young Wolf show up makes me wish I did have a cast down left in my deck. 1, 2. I guess having the extra card in the graveyard for Gurmag is nice. This does make Ninja worse. But now I can fetch a blue, which I would have preferred to do the whole time, but thought I might need double black for Echoing Decay and Gurmag, but their thing's too big. There's that Ninja that I made worse. Preordain. Okay, bottom, top, play Ice Tunnel, play Gurmag, and I'm just going to spend mana on it, leave the Edicts in my graveyard. They get to crunch me this turn, and then we're just in Crunchy Town, back and forth. I want you to take me to Crunchy Town. Oh, no attack. They block Gurmag Angler? Is that possible? No way, right? I mean, I will make this offer. I have this full of counterspells. This doesn't have First Strike. Yeah, let's fucking go. Oh, they didn't attack because I could have blocked. This is the exact exchange that they didn't want to make. Okay, put a +1 counter and lifelink counter on target creature. Now we're just crashing into each other. Like the Dave Matthews Band. And I do like leaving up Spell Stutter here. Like, life totals just aren't changing right now. We're both dealing 6 lifelink to each other each turn. I'm going to flash in a Spell Stutter in the end step, just start going wide. Get my fairy count up. Start doing ninja stuff. Ninja of the Deep Hours. Pick up my Spell Stutter, get in there. Now I need to start hitting land drops and work my way up to the edicts. I like counter spells more than I like Augur right now. If this Young Wolf gets too big, I'm just dead. Oh, they packed it up. How unexpected. Fang, 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 fang. On to the next one. Well, I queued back into the same person again. That usually means their league just ended and they refired. Let's hope they're off Bogles, but I'm not going to mulligan this hand because it's great. Okay, this might still be Bogles. Is Bogles playing that card? Whatevs. I think holding up Counterspell is better than Augur of Bolas right now. If I can counter the Bogle, like keeping Bogle out of play locks cards in their hand. Okay, Brainstorm sees more cards than Preordain, and I think that's what I need. Like, I really need to hit a blue source if I'm going to cast a cantrip right now. So Preordain, no, they see the same number of cards. If I'm looking for something specific, which I am, which is blue source, I would bottom draw versus draw 3 right away. Yeah, they see the same number of cards. Shit. Oh no. Should have been more specific. All right, I'll put this on top and hope I'm not dead. It looks like we're playing to our main deck Edict at this point. Fun growth. Okay. Well, their mana is perfect. All right, they are still on Bogles. They're just in a new league on Moto. Sentinel's Eyes. All right, one of Edict in the main deck. Let's find it. I'm going to Augur off of Forest, or whatever this land is. Island. Yeah, all these forests in my deck. Okay, I'm going to hold up Counterspell for the turn because my 1/3 is currently in front of this 2/2. And I suspect their hand is just full of ways to make it bigger. Okay. It doesn't have trample first strike. All right. The size is okay. Like, I just won't block. I'll use my life total as a resource. I'm going to save my counterspell for shit like Ancestral Mask or Rancor. This might be time for an ugly little end-step Brainstorm, which I hate doing in all formats, but especially in Pauper. But maybe it'll give me an Ash Barrens. Right, no Barrens here. I can work towards this Thorn of the Black Rose. All right, these cast downs are bad. And I'm going to have to use Preordain to get rid of the other cast down. Just bottom both of these. Augur. Okay, so I can swamp Augur. Still looking for Edict. Snuff out Brainstorm. All right, it's Brainstorm here. This deck does see so many cards. And I'm just going to pass with Counterspell up again. Ledgewalker. All right, that makes the Monarch a non-starter. Still using my life total as a resource here. Because if I draw Ninja and attack with both Augurs, they have the choice of jumping with Silhana Ledgewalker, which is really bad for them. Do I want to end step Brainstorm here? Roll the dice on that again. I don't think I do. I have enough mana here to mess around. Ah, come on. Fucking Ledgewalker. Alright. Gonna have to find my Suffocating Fumes also. Brainstorm. Snuff out and cast down. Not where I want to be. Okay, snuff out and cast down. Go away. I did find a shuffle effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually am... Nope, that's 6. I can't count. Incapable of math or counting. Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. Well, there are 2 of these here, so I'm gonna cast the first one and then shuffle up and hope to draw a land next turn. Let's go. Now I'm not gonna counterspell an aura unless it's lethal. I'm gonna counterspell a creature if they have one. Yep. All right. Well. Have you sandbagged another creature or sandbagged a mountain of auras? Because that's where we're going here. Funded growth. Pretty neutral. Not mad about that one. Commune with spirits. Okay. This gets a enchantment or land. Dillo Cloak. Oh no. Alright. 9 damage. Well, I have to draw an untapped land right now. First strike and Vig. But it doesn't have trample yet. It will have trample next turn, so I should take the block now while I can get it. Untapped land off the top for GG. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Yeah! Play this as an Ash Barrens, and then Edict you. Bang. Chainer's Edict, baby. And attack for 1. They have 2 cards in their hand. One of them's Dillo Cloak. And whatever they just drew for turn. Yeah, looks like we're stable. We're going to win a game 1 against Bogles. And now I can jam Thorn and Gurmag Angler with Counterspell backup. I think we're done here. That was a good turn. Good sequence of turns. As long as you hit your land drops and you're seeing more cards every turn, anything's possible with this deck, which is what I love about the Fairy engine in Pauper. Their hand was kind of stinky, but I needed it to be, and played to the outs. Nice. Okay, here's this sideboard game again. Edict, Fang, Fumes, Truth, Relic. Do I want 2 relics? Right, options on Relic, because now we've seen Young Wolf on top of Rancor and Sentinel Size. And I still think Snuff Out is probably bad. Just your life total matters a lot in this matchup. But having some number of cast down left, maybe even literally just 1. Some number equals 1. And as good as Thorn is on a stable board, it's really hard to find a stable board. Like, I thought the Death Touch would be better than it is, but between Solana Ledgewalker being unblockable some of the time, like I do have flyers in my deck, but Solana Ledgewalker's evasion and the trample on these cards, yeah, I think the Monarch may be one of that effect in the deck to dig for when I'm ready. Makes sense. I do like Ninja, like being able to push where you need to push matters, but I guess Gurmag Angler is my pusher. I'm going to be reacting in all of the early turns, and you don't want to get Ninja flooded when Ninja's bad. Okay, this is kind of different than what I did last round, but this is what it looks like when you play a matchup multiple times and learn along the way. Okay, I have the cast down and the fumes. I'm going to keep this. There's no edict, but I do have my mana set up, and I'm going to see more cards off the Augur. Get Ice Tunnel in now. They immediately pantsed up this Bogle, so Suffocating Fumes is off the table. And I think that Spellstutter Sprite is a better start to this than Augur. Just make sure I don't get dogpiled right away. And they're passing the turn. I can cycle Ash Barrens here. I can cycle Fumes here. Oh, that's something. I'm definitely doing something. It's either Ash Barrens or Fumes. I think it's Fumes. Ouch. Ah, rewarded. Just ended up with the same card in my hand. Okay, play another Island. Pass the turn. A Gut Shot breaks up my counterspell here. Okay. That one I'm less worried about. I should probably still be just regular amounts of worried about it. Not gonna lie, I forgot about the extra point off Ethereal Armor, but it's okay. I'll make it work. I guess I'm gonna cycle Fumes again, or I should cycle Ash Barrens first because I'm doing that too, and that gets a land out of my deck before I cycle Fumes because I need an Edict to even pretend I'm playing this game. Yeah, sorry Fumes, you were just too awkward. Thorn. First Strike and Vigilance are the words on this card right now. If it gets Trample, I lose on the spot. I have accumulated 3 cards in my graveyard here, and I found an actual counterspell, so I'm going to Augur and try to find Edict. Echoing Truth, counterspell Preordain. I think Preordain is the call here. I already have a counterspell. Truth doesn't change the math on this board at all. And I will chump block if it's offered. Well, I mean, when it's offered, they're not going to not attack. I'm going to chump block because that feeds Gurmag Angler. Dillo, no way. Actual counterspell on that one. Played Cover Scout, so Edict just got bad. And all of my... Yeah, I'm going to chump right now while it doesn't have Trample, and while I'm trying to feed this Angler. They have 2 cards left in their hand. I could go Thorn, Gurmag. Oh no, I'm one short. I'm one short of Thorn, Gurmag. All right, never mind. We're not even discussing that line because it doesn't exist. Brainstorm, Fairy Seer. I think top is where I want these to be, because then I can Fairy Seer. I look at the Brainstorm again. Brainstorm and Preordain. Top the Brainstorm, top the Preordain. I want to see Preordain first. And then Gurmag Angler, eating all the cards in my graveyard and leaving up Spellstutter Sprite. Yeah, it sucked the way this early game developed, having to cycle my fumes, and now I basically have no plan for this Glade Cover Scout. If they have another Dillo Cloak, I'm just in the dirt. The spell stutter can't hit that one. I'm gonna chump with Faerie Seer. Just trading a Faerie Seer for 5 damage before the thing gets trample is worth a lot to me. Alright, so I get to Preordain first. All these cards. I'm gonna bottom Ponder, top Brainstorm, and then Brainstorm, because I'm probably trying to get rid of this Cast Down. Alright, this is a lot of lands though. Cast Down does have targets in the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do want to keep 2 of the lands though, so I guess that makes Cast Down the worst one. And I'm going to shuffle now before I cast Ponder, because I want to see 3 fresh cards. This does tap me out a counterspell, so they know they only have to play around Spell Stutter. Double Ninja, that ain't it. Shuffle that. And Ice Tunnel. Awesome. That was a lot of cards. None of them were the edicts. Any of the 3 edicts. Okay, I'm gonna let that resolve. I already can't beat them with a single edict. I'm gonna take the 5 here. Still playing to some Fangs. Unexpected Fangs can help stabilize. Echoing Truth. Oh, that's not bad. That can mess them up. I have 6 mana in play right now. I can make it 7. I could Thorn with Spell Stutter available. Yeah, I think I need to Thorn here. Yeah, bam, Thorn. They can take the Monarch, but it would require a kind of reckless attack. And I'm going to invest in the Ice Tunnel because I can't do any better. Okay. There's that fucking Cast Down again. Right, Rancor, that gives Trample. But I have Truth that can bounce in Aura. Okay, if I bounce Rancor, then they don't have Trample anymore. If I bounce Ethereal Armor, that's giving the first strike and 1, 2, 3, 4. So I would lose the Monarch, but they would lose their Bogle. Right, I'm gonna Echoing Truth the Ethereal Armor. Oh, I can just block with Gurmag. Oh, you're a Dispel deck. All right. In that case, I'm just dead. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can actually block and absorb all this damage and maintain the Monarchy. I just lose everything. Yeah, I was a mana short. Like, I needed the Spell Stutter to protect there. Right, good to know that they're a Dispel deck, though. Another Rancor. All right. I don't know what a win looks like here, but it seems unlikely. Bottoming Ash Barrens and Counterspell. Yeah, okay. You got me. I think I saw 57 cards in my deck that game, and the 3 I didn't see were all Chainer's Edict. On the play, am I more interested in another Thorn over the bonus Relic? Is Relic actually good? Kind of think I want Thorn over Relic. I don't know, it's close. Like, Relic slows down my Gurmag Angler, which has been a big part of the games. So if I don't have Relic down early and activating, then it's not gonna like control them enough. Okay, I'm gonna stick with this plan. Just the 1 Thorn, 2 Ninja situation. Oh yeah, hook this one to my veins. I have a Fairy Curve and an Edict involved. Preordain and land. I don't need this land. I'll take the Preordain. Abundant Growth. Okay, great. That means I get to hold up Spellstutter Sprite next turn. If they stuck a Bogle there, I would have had to make decisions about if I'm just edicting it or am I going to hold up Spellstutter, let them build up a little bit. I'm not going to counter Abundant Growth. I'm going to counter creatures. If they don't do anything, I'll just cycle Ash Barrens. Get another Island. Another Terramorphic Expanse. I could just advance my board this turn. Yeah, I think that's better. Like right now, while they're not really threatening anything. Just get my mana set up for later. Go be a Sprawl. All right. They are super wide on me here. Am I going to need a second black soon? I don't think so. I think just the hunger level of the blue in this deck is worth playing too. And I can find the black mana when I need it. Okay, I'm going to bottom Decay and top Fumes. Now I have multiple options to fight over Bogles. Fumes does get countered by Dispel, which is something I need to respect. I don't really believe that their hand is just bad. I think that their hand probably is setting up to some sort of mid game. And I brainstorm here. I'm going to put back Echoing Truth I'm going to put back Echoing Truth and Ponder. Is that right? Definitely Echoing Truth, and it seems like Ponder is a reasonable choice as well. And I'm just going to attack with my Faerie Seer again, and now I'm holding up 2 counter spells. The next turn I can draw Ponder, cast Faerie Seer, clear the top of my deck for a fresh Ponder. I'm not going to cycle Fumes, though, because at this point, or I could go the other way. I could Ponder and then make sure Faerie Seer clears cards I don't want. I'm going to go Seer. Ooh, okay. I don't want Echoing Truth. I do want Gurmag Angler. And I'm going to Ponder. Oh, there was no land, but that's okay, because I found Relic. Spellstutter, Gurmag, Relic. Don't shuffle. And then an attack for 1. And then to play Relic, they don't have a graveyard right now, so anything that I Relic is good to go. And if I can slam my Gurmag Angler, then I don't mind just cycling the Relic after that. I don't have 2 black sources, so the Suffocating Fumes plus Edict line, if they go wide and big on the same turn, is not available. Relic. We'll see how embarrassing that ends up being. Another Utopia Sprawl. Alright, they're ready to unload their whole deck as soon as they start casting spells. They're going to cast a lot of them. But this is a study in the Pauper Fairies archetype. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I Gurmag here, I have to tap out of the second counterspell, but I think that's fine. Alright, there it is, Gurmag. I don't want them to be able to just dance around forever. Like, let's put some real pressure on them. Oh wow, they still haven't cast a spell. Oh, they're just conceding? Wow. They must have kept a handful of cantrips and just never found a creature. Okay, we're 2-0 against this opponent. Maybe we'll play them again next round. Let's keep it going. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play in round 3 against an opponent with a different name than my previous opponents. I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to lead on Faerie Seer and hope that it finds a land that isn't Ash Barrens. I want to leave up Spellstutter on turn 2. Okay. I'm going to bottom counterspell, and I'm going to take the Terramorphic Expanse, because I need my mana set up. Depending on what they do, I may just play Ash Barrens and leave up Spellstutter, or I may take a turn off. Okay, I'm going to take a turn off against this deck, just set my mana up for the rest of the game. I can cycle Ash Barrens and pop Terramorphic Expanse right now, just do everything. I have a window right now. Yeah, I could have countered that, but that's not the important spell in this matchup. Gonna get an island and get a swamp. Make sure I have access to my colors. Ooh, that's actually great. Because I don't have 3 mana worth of stuff to do this turn anyway, so being able to play off curve with the Terramorphic Expanse is great. And if they don't do anything that that deserves a counterspell, I'm just going to cycle Fumes. So kind of awkward here. I'm going to let this happen. That was awkward because having exactly 2 fairies, Galvanic Blast or any removal spell, will beat a fairy. I'm not going to fight over this 2/2. I'm going to fetch first, then a land out of the deck, and then cycle Fumes. Ooh, Thorn is nice. That Frogmite is kind of a tilt. It's just right there in play, teasing me, taunting me. Like, if their hand has 2 Galvanic Blasts in it, if I jam Thorn and they just go Blast, Blast, Attack, I'm never winning this game. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna take it a little slow, get a couple extra blockers into play, like Spellstutter some stuff this turn. If they didn't have Frogmite, I would have slammed Thorn so hard. Can attack for 2. They are winning this race. They're passing the turn. I'm going to Spellstutter in the end step, just develop my board here. They're Deadly Disputing in response. I'm going to Spellstutter that. They can Galvanic Blast and break this all up, but then I will end up with a bunch of Fairies in play. They have one less Galvanic Blast. Yeah, that is how all of this works. They have sequenced that extremely well. But now I'm going to jam my Thorn. Oh, I even have Snuff Out. Fuck yeah. I am the Monarch. And because of Snuff Out, I'm even going to attack for one. Like, I don't want to just Snuff Out Frogmite because they have 4/4s and better cards in their deck. And I have a 1/3, but if they spend effort countering or removing the 1/3, then I can Snuff Out the Frog. Another Wellspring, okay. Like, I lost that exchange on their end step. There's no way around it. Like, that was a bad exchange for me. But it resulted in me sticking Thorn on a board that I could actually contest. So there's some pros and cons there. All right, Mirror Enforcer. How many of those do you have? Please stop. Kermag Angler, Jesus. All right, yep. This is going to be a tough one to stabilize. I'm going to Snuff Out Mirror Enforcer right now while they're tapped out, because they are also a counterspell deck, believe it or not. Somehow. Augur. Look at the bottom 3 cards of your deck. Thanks, Augur. Right now, when I needed a payoff. All right, I'm just going to pass with Counterspell up, because removing the 4/4 means my Death Touch creature can tangle with the 5/5, and then I do have enough creatures to absorb. God, Blood Fountain. This deck is brutal. This Grixis Affinity deck is so fucked. They have more lands in play than me, more power in play than me, more non-land permanents than me, and also 7 cards in their hand still. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna block with my Death Touch creature, for sure. I'll counterspell almost anything here. Well, I guess the Gurmag and Mirror Enforcer are threatening to redeploy, so I can't really counter. Yeah, I'm gonna, never mind. I'm gonna be patient on that. Ooh, Chainer's Edict. That one's not bad. If I attack with Fairy Seer, ninja it up, then replay it, then I can still hold up Counterspell next turn. Okay, I'm gonna attack with Fairy Seer. I'm gonna ninja. Get my extra card. That's a good card. Fairy Seer. Ice Tunnel and Spell Stutter. I want Ice Tunnel, like, eventually. Do I want it next turn? I think so. Okay, top both of these. With the Monarch, I'm going to draw the Spell Stutter immediately. And that's both a counterspell and a blocker if I need to tangle with these Frogmites. Popping their Chromatic Stars, reloading their hand. I was briefly excited that they only had 4 cards in their hand, and then draw step Star later, they're just back up to 7. And the Blood Fountain represents 2 more threats. Ooh, Glaze Fiend. That's a neat one. Alright, I have a lot of flying blockers that can tangle with that thing. Oh, +2/+2. If they attack, I'll trade off. Block here, and then double block. Like, just getting material off their board is valuable now because I have this Edict in my hand. Do I want to flash in Spell Stutter? I think I do. Just slide that homie in. Keep the board full. And I can attack with Ninja. Don't think they'll block here. Nope. Alright. Ninja draws a card. Augur. I can Gurmag with double counterspell up. Or I could Augur. I think I want to Gurmag with double counterspell. Gurmag with double counterspell. Yep. Alright. Draw a card. Gotta protect the Spell Stutter. Because that is my protection from Glaze Fiend. And Glaze Fiend is black, so I can't snuff it out. But Snuff Out is nice for that mirror that they just picked up. I'm not going to counter that. Don't know that I can. I need to protect Spell Stutter, basically, is the whole shit. Use their blood token. That's good. That's not a play you make if your hand currently does things. Reckoner's Bargain, refilling. Maybe there's a world where I deck this opponent. The Blood Fountains are going to be tough to get through on, like, a decking strat. But, like, they're halfway through their deck right now, and I'm honestly not feeling super threatened by their position. Do another one of those. I do actually need to counterspell this one. I'm out of flyers, and, like, my plan right now is kind of to use the Monarch to tread water. Right, they Deadly Disputed again, in response sacking a Wellspring. But yeah, I think fighting over the The payoffs is where I have to be. They discarded a card to hand size. It's like they didn't even draw that card. Get wrecked. Okay, I can pass down Glaze Fiend. If I attack with... Oh, I should... Gotta make sure I don't get burned out with Galvanic Blast also. Okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna snuff out Mirror Enforcer. That lets my ninja attack. Yeah, they'll take that trade. That's fine, because that turns on Edict, which was not good a second ago. Edict you. And then Augur. I'm still holding up Counterspell. Augur found Preordain. Thanks for not missing. And draw a card. I am at 10. We haven't seen a Galvanic Blast yet. We haven't seen a Makeshift Munitions yet. Disciple of the Vault recently got banned, so that one's safe. I can cast down a Gurmag. Gotta save my counterspells for burn spells. Synthesizer, that's annoying, but like cards are already an angle that they're burying me on, so I'm not gonna fight over that. God damn it, Blood Fountain. Alright, Blood Fountain's back. 22 cards in their deck. The race is on. Or Blood Fountaining immediately. Or they thought about it, then changed their mind. Can I just tempo them out here and actually win the game? I guess is a question I should be thinking about. They are at 11 and I have 7 power in play. Like if they Blood Fountain here, pick up their Glaze Fiends. They picked up Mirror Enforcer and Glaze Fiend. Okay, that happens. I'm still more worried about Glaze Fiend than I am about Mirror Enforcer. Glaze Fiend. I really don't want to get burned out, but I can cast this down. Okay, fine. Fine. Just playing careful here. Other Enforcer. All right. I guess I could have countered one of those Enforcers. But yeah, cast down Glaze Fiend. All right, need some removal, some action here. I have the Edict in my graveyard, but it taps me out for the turn. I think I want to start with a Preordain. The Spell Stutter is not great here. Bottom Spell Stutter. Do I want Brainstorm? I think so. I'm going to Ponder first. Snuff Out, not bad. Augur can pick up Snuff Out. That's kind of exciting. Okay, don't shuffle my library. Cast Augur. Augur can pick up this Snuff Out. And then I can land go. If I Snuff Out, I'm just even closer to death from the burn spells. Decay might be interesting. That makes the Enforcers smaller. Chromatic Star. Yeah, we've reached the point of the game where their card advantage is gonna overwhelm me. Like I put up a good fight here, but I'm currently just like struggling to stabilize the board, and their hand could just have 16 points of burn in it. Another Enforcer. Yep. Attack with everything. I want to trade off. Do I want to trade off with Gurmag? I guess is the question. Gonna block, double block. Then I'm gonna Echoing Decay, Mirror Enforcer. I should target one of the ones that's attacking in case they have a like Deadly Dispute or whatever to sack it. I don't want to give them a freebie. Okay. That killed 2 of the Mirror Enforcers. Shit. Alright, now I'm dead. Yeah, they found a good spot to sneak that in on me. And yeah, just literally dead. Here's the burn, the munitions, the Galvanic Blast. Yep. They did their thing here. Yeah, this deck being able to challenge the board the way it does, and then also represent over 20 points of burn. Like 4 Galvanic Blast is 16, and then munitions is easily good for 4+. Oof. I do want Relic. The Blood Fountains were a huge part of that game. I want Thorn, just being the Monarch. That was a huge part of that game as well. Hydroblast, taking out munitions and Galvanic Blasts is important. Not sure how many of these I want. Let's see what cards I'm cutting. Fumes is out. Ninja is important, but it does get blocked easily by their whole deck. Echoing Decay lines up well enough against Glaze Fiend and Frogmite, but I still think it's one of the weaker cards in the deck. Snuff Out is powerful, but really dangerous. Can't really rely on counterspells to do everything here. Maybe a Spell Stutter Sprite is bad. I kind of want Unexpected Fangs involved. Like getting out of burn range is a big deal. This also makes my Gurmag beat their Gurmag. Dispel has lots of text too. This deck is so hard to play against. Right, I can go lower on one Spell Stutter. How far in on Hydroblast do I want to go? Like Hydroblast and Dispel might both be better than Spell Stutter. I'm gonna add Dispel because that can hit the Deadly Dispute and the Galvanic Blast and whatever red and or blue blast. I guess they wouldn't have blue blast against this version of fairies. Whatever red blast they bring in. Do I want edicts over snuff outs? Like some of their creatures are black and all of them are big. Didn't I just cut edict though? And now I'm bringing it back in. Poured out edict to bring in a different edict. All right, I'm going to try it like this. This deck is really tricky to sideboard against and hard to figure out what you're supposed to do. Blue-black fairy experts, please let me know. I know this matchup's really important to the metagame right now. I just don't have a lot of experience with it. Shit. I'm gonna keep. This hand is really good. It's just clearly missing something very important, which is the second land. And I'm gonna hope to find it. I also gotta play fast because I gotta win 2 games and I got 15 minutes to do it. I am behind on clock. If this Brainstorm were Preordain or Ponder, I would have snapped it off. But for a Brainstorm, getting Brainstorm locked is a death sentence. So I'm just gonna wait till my next turn, see another card out of it. Like if I Brainstorm now, I see 3 cards. If I Brainstorm next turn, I see 4. And playing off curve is less important than hitting your land drops. Maybe I'll just draw a land. No love. All right, Brainstorm. Okay, we hit lands and a shuffle effect, no less. Unexpected Fangs is for later, and I think Ninja is actually fine. These cast downs. Maybe I want to cast down later. Okay, yeah, I am getting rid of a cast down. And I'm just going to get F6 value by fetching right now. They have Star and another tap land. I'm gonna do the Ponder trick. I just want to make sure that my Augur hits right now. I'm going to draw this island, and then Augur is going to pick up Counterspell. Oh, either way, Counterspell. Yeah, just locking in the card advantage. I like that line. And now I'm on curve to cast down plus Ninja. If I need to cast down. Okay, they just have 2 creatures instead. Never mind. Never mind. I cast down Frogmite. I am going to push here with my Ninja. This might be crazy. I don't know like how quickly Glaze Fiend can kill me. Like, it's possible that they just like play 6 artifacts and I'm at 8 this turn and dead to burn next turn. But let's hope that's not the case. I have made my decision. Thoughtcast into multiple free artifacts. Uh-oh. Here it comes, folks. That's 4 artifacts, 5 artifacts. Yeah, they're just getting 10'd. Jesus. And the sick joke is I just don't even have an answer to this thing anyway. Yeah, maybe the cast down should have gone here. Augur should have held the ground against Frogmite, and I should have taken a more defensive posture. I'm willing to believe that. Yeah, that just looked terrible. All right, yeah, this game's not winnable anymore. Yeah, I blinked for a second, just didn't respect the Glazed Fiend, and they fucking unloaded on me. All right, yep. And one of the things that I tell people, like my coaching clients who come to me and want to learn about Pauper Fairies or whatever, people who ask me about the deck, is this is not a Delver deck. Like the 1-drop into Spell Stutter into Ninja U sort of tempo lines are distracting from the real plan, that this is a like deep late game control deck with these creature-based card advantage engines in it. And I just broke my own rule. I was like, I'm going to play like it's Delver, fire off a removal spell on a suboptimal target just to draw a card and set up Augur for next turn, and then fucking splat, just left in the dust. If I just played Augur, or left Augur in play, made a land drop last turn, I counterspell Spell Stutter up, that stops that turn from developing. I could even cast down the Glaze Fiend to stop the damage, and then untap into like a stable board with all these options still available. I blinked, forgot my roll, and died immediately as a result. Learn from that mistake. On to the next one. I'm on the draw in round 4. I'm actually going to keep this hand. Being on the draw and have Fairy Seer means I get to see a lot of cards before I need a second land drop. And first draw step failed. Let's see where we go. Easy money. I'm going to slide this auger to the bottom because I just want to hit lands right now. I already got augers. That's not what I'm looking for. Looks like we got this Grixis Affinity deck again. As a Magic player who appreciates powerful spells, I love this Grixis deck. As somebody who values the health of Pauper, I'm not sure if this is good. Like, I'm not just like Chicken Little ban calling or anything here, but these indestructible artifact lands enable a lot of stuff. Like, this is a preposterous power level, and I don't know, like, I'm not in charge of ban decisions or like whatever, but I don't know that like Grixis control affinity should exist. Like, I feel like that's a thing you should be doing one or the other of. Anyway, here's Ponder. I need to find a land, and I did. I get to set up this Ponder, so Counterspell, Augur, Island. I draw the Island now, and then I can Augur up Counterspell, or I can leave up Spellstutter. I think I should Augur right now, because that will clear the other two cards that I know I don't want. Or I guess I would have liked the Terramorphic Expanse, but like, I knew I wasn't drawing a land there, is what I'm trying to spit out. And just hitting my land drops right now, because I am rolled up on powerful spells. Just basic swamp off the top would make me so happy right now. This opponent is... I don't know if this is just the way their draw shook out or what, but they're a lot more aggressive on their Deadly Disputes than my previous opponent was. My previous opponent sort of just like made their land drops, stacked up a bunch of Wellsprings and Stars and stuff in play, and then in the mid game was just like, by the way, draw 8. And this opponent's been sort of like tapping out on turn 2 and then turn 3 to draw extra cards. And I don't know. I've never played... Oh, this is something different. Never mind. I take it all back. Am I dead? Is this Mogwarts? Okay, Skirk Prospector changes everything. They are not playing what I thought they were. I'm going to preordain here. Okay, good. I actually don't want Ninja. I mean, I always want Ninja, but right this particular moment, Ninja is not helpful to me. And I'm going to push for damage. And they haven't seen anything indicating black mana yet, so I'm not going to crack this and just show them the swamp. I wish I had Snuff Out that I could just like surprise tap swamp Snuff Out them, but that's not a thing I can do. They're flashing back looting. The Mogwarts deck, what this is, there is a goblin with either Undying or Persist. It's got to be Persist. Yeah, there's a goblin with Persist that when it dies, it comes back with a -1 counter on it. And then First Day of Class is a spell from Strixhaven that your creatures that enter the battlefield this turn have a +1 counter in haste. And with Skirk Prospector, that Persist Goblin and First Day of Class, you have infinite red mana, and then all your creatures that you deploy with that infinite red mana have haste and a +1 counter on them. And it's an infinite combo deck. It's pretty cool. Oh. I don't think I'm going to fall for this. Like, I would love to trade this thing off with a Spellstutter Sprite, but if this is a trick, I'm not going to get blown out by that shit. I can just untap and edict this thing. I am going to drop my Spellstutter now, though, because pushing that extra point of damage matters. And I'm going to be using all my mana for the next several turns anyway. Just clear this Prospector. I think killing Prospector is better than leaving up 2 counter spells. Because Prospector is one of the things I'd have to prioritize countering if I were going to leave up counter spells, but it's already in play. They're just shredding through their artifacts here. I'm glad this isn't that Grixis Affinity deck again. I just hate when my Pauper leagues are just 2 different decks across 5 matches. Right, there's the Putrid Goblin. That's the Persist creature I was talking about. And I think I want this in the graveyard. And I'm going to use actual counterspell, not Spellstutter, just to make sure that, like, Electrickery doesn't force their thing through. Just want to make sure the combo pieces do not amass on the board. They currently have 5 mana, so they could First Day of Class. That is, First Day costs 2, Persist Goblin costs 2. Uh-oh. Am I dead? If they, oh god, if they have the First Day here. Okay, well, they have infinite mana. Now they have to do something with it. Let's see where this goes. That was pretty impressive. I thought I had my walls up, It did require 2 Putrid Goblins and a second Skirk Prospector, so they've seen a lot of cards. Like, it's reasonable that they would have these things, but that it did all have to happen. Like, all this stuff did have to go on. Scry 2, then draw a card. Introduction to Prophecy. They top-bottomed. That's bad. I needed the bottom there. Shred Memory. They're transmuting that. They got Makeshift Munitions. Okay, this is an infinite combo. I'm going to concede. I'm just going to explain it real quick. So they can cast Munitions and then make infinite mana with Skirk Prospector and then use the infinite mana to throw Putrid Goblin infinite times. Yeah, that works. You did it. Okay, Relic of Progenitus, very important here. Hydroblast, very important here. I don't think Fumes, Fangs are what I'm looking for. First day of class is an instant. Dispel has text here. Suffocating Fumes can kill a Skirk Prospector, but so does 1,000 other more efficient things in my deck. Okay, one of the 7 cards I want to bring in is represented now. How do we go deeper? Cast down Echoing Decay. I don't think Edict is important. Like, having spot removal is going to be better than edicting this opponent. And I'm bringing in a bunch more spot removal in the form of Hydroblast that can kill the Prospector. I like Snuff Out. I like Angler. I like Spell Stutter. Uh-oh, I like all my cards. Guess I can shave a Ninja. Gurmag Angler might not be super important to this matchup, because if I can keep them off balance, then they'll die eventually. Like we saw last game where that was going, where I was like poking for 4 damage a turn, and they snuck their combo through, but that sort of game plan is fine. I like the Decay, I like the Cast Down, though. Do I like the Decay? Maybe I don't. Yeah, Decay's out. Like, I'm just upgrading them to Hydroblast. Do I need all 4 Hydroblast? Is that better than Spell Stutter? Spell Stutter is pretty important. Maybe I shave a Fairy Seer. Ugh. I feel like I'm just removing cards at random right now under the clock. Thorn might be worse than Hydroblast. All right, there's 1 Thorn in the deck if I find a spot to jam it, but Hydroblasts are in. Removal and cantrips, keep it. A lead on Ice Tunnel. Getting the mana setup's more important than like cantripping on turn 1. And I even have the shuffle to go with this Brainstorm. I think I'm just gonna hold up Brainstorm and Counterspell right now. Not gonna fight over Wellspring. B-Storm. Alright, this is some good stuff. Gurmag's a ways away. I don't think I'm ready for that. And I don't have to shuffle. Secret text on these cards. I want this Ninja eventually. You know, maybe I'll tuck the Cast Down and just rely on my free counter magic for now. Because I need a threat right now. I have Ninja, I have all these answers. Now I need to get on board and start pushing damage. I'm gonna ponder looking for Spell Stutter. Second Ninja's not what I want. I'm gonna shuffle this. Really interested in... Alright, I'll take Augur. And I'll grab a Hydroblast over Preordain. I can snuff out a Skirk Prospector. I don't even think this deck can generate 5 mana from this position. Makeshift Munitions. Alright. They just saw the Hydroblast. They just put that card into play. Alright, fair enough. Spell Stutter's dope. Alright, I'm gonna get my Ninja happening here. Jitsu. And they have a freebie in Ichor Wellspring there, so I am gonna Hydroblast right now. Not often you get to pick off on Munitions that cleanly. And I still have the Snuff Out if they do jam their combo right now. There's Putrid Goblin. Ooh, Witches. That's fun. Alright. My removal doesn't line up against either of those things. I'm gonna do the Brainstorm Augur trick. Put back the second Ninja. That's not good right now, though. If I Spell Stutter into second Ninja, that gets a lot more interesting, but no, I don't think that's where I want to be. Ninja and Hydroblast go to the top because I'm about to Augur, pick up that Hydroblast. That shuffles away the Ninja, or bottoms the Ninja. It's not a shuffle. Witches are a very challenging card for the Fairy deck to overcome. I guess I should have buried some spell stutters, knowing that witches were in play. But my plan is to kill those eventually. But what witches does, I guess I should read this one. You could tap it to deal 1 damage to anything of your choice, and the owner of that thing, and then your opponent gets to deal 1 damage to anything of their choice. Is this a counter spell? Yeah, I think so. I have Hydroblast and Snuff out to deal with a Skirk Prospector, so I think spending counterspell on something like that makes sense. Picked up another counterspell, sent Gurmag Angler and a land to the bottom. There's still no attacks here. I can't fight over that. Or at least that's not the fight I'm going to get. And a Dispel. Alright. Yeah, this witch is just sort of hard countering my whole strat here. There's 2 cast downs in the deck. As soon as I cast down witches, I think I'm in good shape, but I gotta find that card. Jesus. I was not ready for the first one, so definitely countering the second one. Yeah, if they get a second one in and they start picking off ninjas, that's no good for me. Land drop and pass. Witches is even a 1/3, so I can't even push ninja in and bluff anything. The 3rd Putrid Goblin. Okay. Okay, another Augur. Find me that cast down. Let's move this game forward. Oh, bottom 3 cards. Augur of Bolus, folks. I can counter a 1-drop with Spell Stutter, even through the witches, because I have 2 of them. It would just throw one of my Spell Stutters directly into the graveyard. There's a Prospector. They know about this Hydroblast, so I'm gonna cast that one first. My Moto collection has 1 with different art, and they've seen this one, they haven't seen this one. I hate that I have to spend brain power keeping track of that. But here we are. And, like, I could let Prospect resolve and then fight over the first day, because that's also a red spell. But I don't think that is the right play, because with Persist, this is like a Seething Song or a Rite of Flame already. And I don't want to give them that option. Okay. All right, I got a lot of Spell Stutter sprites here. Luckily, they can't really do anything either. Okay. Another swamp. Not mad about land drops. I really am just like a cast down away from absolute stabilization here. But that is a card that I need to find. Faerie Seer. Okay. This will die immediately, but at least I'm gonna get some value out of it. Oh, Thorn. That's a game. Okay. The counterspell on top with Thorn on top of it. So then I can draw Thorn, which cantrips into counterspell when I pop my Monarch after that. Right. They are witching. I'm going face. They're killing my fairy. All their creatures conveniently X2s or bigger. They can have Chromatic Star. Stars filtering into red. Oh, my monthly Moto rewards just arrived. Cool. Munitions. Well, gotta counter that. That card's not beatable on its own, much less in the combo context. Okay, is it time to dump Spell Stutters into countering this? I think it is. Okay, so I can Spell Stutter, which they can kill. Counter your Pyroblast. The witches, I'm gonna send to the face again. And then Spell Stutter the Pyroblast again. Or I guess I Spell Stutter Munitions now. No, that's risky. I Spell Stutter the Pyroblast now, because if they have another removal spell... Yeah, I just want to make sure Pyroblast gets countered. Uh-oh, what's this targeting? My Spell Stutter? Okay, well... Moment of truth, folks. Do they have another removal spell or another Pyroblast, or does this stabilize? I am targeting Pyroblast, not Munitions. Okay. Ooh, that was a scary one. I wish I had a ninja in my hand right now to punish the Spell Stutter. Okay, slamming Thorn into play. It's going to draw Counterspell. I'm going to attack with Spell Stutter because it won't be around to block anyway. Thorn draws Counterspell, and then we pass the turn. I could have attacked with Ninja there, I guess, and they trade with a Goblin, and then Witches, when they activate it, gives me an actual kill on a creature. Still not sold that that's where I want to be with my life. Wow, and just nothing go. Feed me. Oh, there's the cast down. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm going to attack with Spell Stutter. See if they just witch it immediately. Alright, they did. And I'm going face with my damage. I think I'm just going to pass. Just draw a card and pass. Found the other cast down. Okay, we're cooking. Goblin Matron. That's fine. That dies to witches. It's going to tutor up Prospector, which I can spell stutter or counter spell. 4 cards in hand, 3 other than the Prospector. I'm going to cast down witches in response to this Prospector. They should probably just let it die. Like, dealing 1 to my face randomly and losing their Goblin Matron seems like a bad deal. Yeah, they agreed with that. And spell stutter the Prospector. Okay, triggers on the stack. Do you have a removal spell? Nice, just actually countered. Nice. All right, now we're taking over. This is the game state I've been playing towards for the entire game. Now I just poke for a damage here and there. My hand has 4 cards, and they're all answers to what they're doing. Augur of Bolas's giant ass is holding the board. Deadly Dispute. Do I want to fight over that or the payoffs? I think I'm going to let them have that. A card like Makeshift Munitions can just take over this game on its own, whether they combo or not. And I want to make sure my counter spells are ready for that, because they're obviously a Pyroblast deck. We've seen that multiple times. Ooh, that's interesting. They could be doing this just for the loot. Yeah, I'm not going to counter this. And they got the Introduction to Prophecy. Just the learn part of that is relevant here. Yeah, they're just casting Preordain. My Preordains cost 1. Theirs cost 5. They do have a treasure left that they could jam a Prospector with. Or do that. I'll counter that. They have enough Putrid Goblins that first day of class is lethal through a removal spell. Because if I try to kill the Goblin in response, they could just sack... Oh, they're all goblins. If they sack a Putrid Goblin in response to my removal spell, then they're all just... Yeah. I'm going to collect my thoughts and say that in a way that makes sense. If they only have 1 Putrid Goblin, you can kill Skirk Prospector in response to the Persist trigger, and then that's gone, and then it comes back, but they don't have the sack outlet anymore. But because they have more than 1, they could just try to make infinite mana with this one. I cast a removal spell, then they switch over here and make infinite mana with the other one. That's what I was trying to spit out. Augur of Bolas, go. I will take Ponder rather than Brainstorm here, because all the cards in my hand are already good. Ponder, Ice Tunnel, and a couple of Snuff Outs. I will take the Ice Tunnel. I don't have a land drop yet this turn, and back with Spell Stutter. It's going to manage the clock, because I feel like this game is under control. I just got to make sure I have time to play a third one, and also don't time out on this one. The clocks are pretty close, but I am like half a minute behind. Unearth this Prospector. Okay. They don't have first day of class running right now, which is why I let this resolve. I can fight over first day at this point. Or I can kill... Yeah, I'm going to snuff out Skirk Prospector in response to first day. Then see where this goes. So any Putrid Goblin they float mana with now, like they can make a couple of mana off of the Putrid Goblins, they'll persist back, but then they'll have -1 counters on them, so they won't persist again after that, which turns off first day. Okay, so they floated 2 red, and then I'm going to let first day resolve. They have another lesson, or are they just looting? Oh, they do have another Introduction to Prophecy. Okay. Do have another counter spell. I really want to find a relic. That would be great. There's the Prophecy. Not fighting over that. They bottom those. 3 cards in hand. And Fiery Cannonade. These aren't pirates, are they? They are not. Okay. Oh, you have first day running, though. That's really clever. That would deal 1 to all my... Or that would kill most of my things, but their things can't attack. Oh, they do have haste, though, right? +1/+1 counter, and it gains haste. Yeah, they would get a bunch of 2/2 haste creatures, and I'd lose the Monarch. Clever. All right. I guess I have to counter this, even though I don't want to. There's a lot of cool interactions in this deck. But we got this one. Maybe I do want Echoing Decay. Like, seeing the fair plan now, and do I have any answers to witches that aren't already in the deck? Like Truth could bounce witches, but that doesn't seem very good. Edicts don't line up well. Suffocating Fumes are kind of whatever. Right, Echoing Decay. If I'm bringing that in, what am I cutting? The Hydroblasts, I kind of needed all 4 of them. Faerie Seer gets a lot worse if they have witches in their deck. Spellstutter is not great either, but at least that one can line up well against cards in their deck face just on its own merits, without witches in play, but Faerie Seer really only exists to set up other cards in the deck, and just it's not good on its own. Maybe I want Gurmag to shut the door, but the way that last game went, I was driving pretty well for the whole time. So, all right, if I cut the last Faerie Seer and bring in the other Gurmag, I think I like that. Maybe I should have Thorn, because Thorn really is what won me that game. Tough balance here. Like, you have to respect the fact that they're a pretty resilient creature deck, while also respecting the fact that they're a potent combo deck. I'm keeping this hand. I have Chromatic Star on turn 1. And I'm just going to grab an island right now. I don't think I'm going to need black mana on turn 2. And setting up these Hydroblasts is pretty nice. And I just fetched face up so I can get my F6 value. Like, I am slightly concerned about the clock. All right, I can preordain here, which means I want to fetch a swamp first, because I want that to get swamp. And with preordain, if you top both cards and then end up getting rid of one of them, and then you shuffle, you lose one of the cards that you wanted to keep. So you want to shuffle after a Ponder or a Brainstorm, and you want to shuffle before a Preordain. Matron, all right. That probably would have been a good one to hold up Hydroblast for, but advancing my own plan. Not going to apologize for that. Okay, cool, now I can Hydroblast and Spellstutter, or just Counterspell. Don't think I want to kill this thing. If I counter this, they could unearth it, but they have to do it now. They could also Pyroblast off of their Chromatic Star. Yeah, maybe I got a little pushy with that Preordain. If I could have just Hydroblasted last turn, then they wouldn't have had this Putrid Goblin or this Matron, and I can just play a turn behind curve. Okay. That resolves. That was a good time to resolve that. That was a good time to resolve that too. They don't have First Day though. They could... Oh, am I dead? Do they have it? Yeah, they do. They're going to instant speed out First Day. Oh my god. Yeah, just casting a turn 2 Preordain killed me. Wow. I'm really impressed. Yeah, if I just played my fetch land past the turn with Hydroblast up, clip the Matron, then they don't have Putrid Goblin. They don't have 2 mana to get this going right now. Wow. Powerful magic. They're casting their lesson, the Introduction to Prophecy. Let me see a bottom past the turn. How about that? I don't deserve it, but please give it to me. They top bottomed with the Prophecy. That's probably bad news for me. The star has been filtered. All right, GG. Okay. I am impressed. I showed a small lack of respect for the deck's capabilities, and they just made it happen out of nowhere. That was awesome. I genuinely impressed. I had the tools to play around this and just didn't respect what the deck was capable of, like how low resources it could actually go off from. If I Hydroblast the Matron in combat, like I said I considered doing, then I don't lose this turn. Like Hydroblast Matron and leave up Spellstutter, that's also a line. Wow, okay. A lot of different ways I could have played this, and all of them resulted in them going off on turn 4 through a counterspell. Well played, opponent. On to the next round. These last 2 rounds have really shown what I love about Pauper Fairies, which is that the deck is powerful, but it doesn't play itself. Like, it vastly rewards format knowledge and sound play decisions. I hate when a best deck is just easy, and that's not the case with this one. You blink for a second, and you're too far behind to ever come back. All right, looks like we're playing against some elves here. Gonna want removal spells sooner than later. Drawing Ice Tunnel last turn kind of messed up my plan. I was trying to Faerie Seer into my second land and get Ninja rolling, but Jasper Sentinel has reach, so I guess throwing the Ice Tunnel was actually great. I take it all back. Wonderful. Okay, I can preordain and brainstorm looking for more land drops here, or I could augur. And I think lands are going to be more important than having a creature on the board. Oh, hell yeah. Well, top. I'll take the Snuff out now, and then I'm going to play the Fairy Seer after all. Because now I have a removal spell. Bottom augur, top ice tunnel. I could just roast the Sentinel right now before it taps for mana or does anything. Elvish Vanguard's one of the scarier things in the deck, though. Yeah, I guess if they tap it for mana, then it's not blocking. Mana it is. Lead the Stampede. Let's see how many hits we get. 3 creatures came off of that. Okay. No land drop. Like that. I'm gonna get my ninja in here. Start pulling ahead. 8 cards in hand. Back down to 7. Another Jasper Sentinel, Fyndhorn Elves, and Priest of Titania. If I smoke this Sentinel right now, that might slow down what they're capable of. So I would like to connect with Ninja again. I guess I don't need to smoke anything right now. There's Priest, that makes Vanguard bigger. And there's Sentinel, that also makes Vanguard bigger. No attack. All right. Draw for turn. What do we got? A Spellstutter Sprite. I can roast the Vanguard, attack with Ninja. They can't really... I guess they could chump block, but it doesn't seem very good. Yeah, I am going to go after Vanguard here. Leaving an opponent with Priest of Titanian play is always slightly reckless, but they have 6 cards in their hand. I could leave up Spellstutter and Counterspell, or I could augur trying to hit a removal spell for Priest right now and leave up 1 Counterspell. I could also just jam Thorn and hope I'm not dead, but I think that's really bad. I'm going to augur. Come on, Snuff out. All right, I found a Ponder. Not what I wanted, but it's fine. Let's see how dead I am. This might be another one of those decisions where I like decided to push damage and instead I'm in all sorts of trouble. Well-Wisher. That card's annoying. Like super annoying. All right. I'm going to counter the Well-Wisher, though I'm not particularly happy about it. Because Well-Wisher can genuinely represent, like, decking the blue-black deck. They have a Lead the Stampede. And they hit Birchler Rangers. Jeez, that sucks. Okay, let's go. I'm going to need the Fumes or a Decay to clear this out. Okay, I'm going to start with... I guess Brainstorm's a lot better now than it was a second ago. Still going to start with Ponder. Okay, hell yeah. 1, 2, 3. Not shuffle. I'm going to attack and offer them the opportunity to get blown out. If they double block, I can snuff out one of the creatures and then they lose both. All right, they didn't do that. That's cool. I can Brainstorm into Cast Down. Is that important? I guess I can just play my island and pass. Or I'm going to Brainstorm. All right, let's Brainstorm. This is a lot of extra lands here. Put back. I do still have my land drop right now. I'm going to put back Island and Ash Barrens. And then I can play Island, Fairy Seer. This gets my fairy count up for Spellstutter. And I can bottom these lands I don't want. Well, I still have this Brainstorm in hand. Do I not want these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to send the Ash Barrens, keep the Island. And I think I'm just going to snuff the Priest before they get on tap with it. Yeah, I'm lining up next turn, sticking Thorn with 2 mana interaction available. Timberwatch Elf is a big one, but I have the cast down for it. I'm going to cast down Timberwatch. I think that's what I need to be doing with this turn. Okay. Do you want to trade Llanowar Elves for a card? You do not. Probably the right call. Terramorphic Expanse, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. I am the Menarche. Ooh, that's a good one for next turn. If they attack with everything, they lose most of their board, and they get to be the Monarch, but then I just take it right back, and that's not even good. Okay. That card is really good, and I can't counter it right now, but Suffocating Fumes can mop up. I'm going to let them deploy any number of X1s here, because I have the Fumes for it. I can play the Fyndhorn Elves, or Jasper Sentinel. I will counter that one because it's an X2. Okay. I can Fumes now, and definitely connect with Ninja. That seems reasonable. I could Brainstorm first, but no, I'm just going to Fumes now. Want to make sure my Ninja gets in, and I'll get in with Spell Stutter right now and get that extra point. Gets me a card deeper before my Brainstorm, and then I can Preordain first. Echoing Decay, hell yeah. All right. Bottom, top, Echoing Decay to finish off this Huntmaster, and then I'll play my Terramorphic Expanse, and I did not know what was on top of my deck. All right. There's the Fyndhorn Elves. If they lead the Stampede again here, I could be in some trouble. But if they don't have a reload, I'm actually feeling really good. Main deck sweeper. Nasty. I'm going to Brainstorm first here. I can Fairy Seer to get rid of the Brainstorm cards. All right, yeah. Yeah, put back these 2 islands. Then I'm going to Fairy Seer to bottom both of those. Bottom. I can Augur first if I want to. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Look at my bottom 3 cards. And I'm going to attack with my things. Spell Stutter definitely. Augur, no reason to attack with... Oh, no. These creatures still have reach. Bummer. Thorn can get in. Thorn and Ninja can attack. Blocking Thorn, that does have Death Touch. Okay, they did not block Thorn. So I am going to Ninjutsu the Thorn. I get to draw 2 cards here. Let's fill me up. A lot of lands. Not a huge problem. Monarch, draw another card. Okay. Do I even have 2 lands left in the deck? There are 12 basics in the deck. That's a really good lead to Stampede. Did not hit very well, though. Jasper Sentinel and Quirion Ranger, don't care a lot about those. Do care about Timberwatch. Gonna need to find a removal spell for that one. Cycle one of these Ash Barrens. And I could save the other for a shuffle effect, but I don't think I have that luxury. I'm just gonna get the bad cards out of my deck right now. Fairy Seer. Okay, let's have a look. Top 2 cards. Bottom both of those lands. And then attack with my Ninjas. They can Quirion Ranger to untap a creature, so I don't want to just put anything dead for free here. So just my Ninjas are getting in. Draw 2 cards. They're still just letting me have all the cards. Augur and Brainstorm. Okay. I could Augur first or Brainstorm first. I think I want to Brainstorm first. Try to turn these lands into different cards. Put the lands back. Then I can Ponder to shuffle those away. Ooh. I kind of do want Spell Stutter, but I also would like my Augur to do anything, so I guess I have to shuffle this. Counterspell. Augur. Still looking for a removal spell. There's the Cast Down. And play my island, cast down Timberwatch Elf. Hold up Counterspell and pass the turn. Nice. Alright, feeling good. Jasper Sentinel, okay. Last card in their hand is Distant Melody, not on my watch. Okay, now they're hellbent. I just gotta win this game and manage my clock while I do it. Ice Tunnel. Gonna attack with the Ninjas. Ninja. Yeah, that's still my attacks. Need Gurmag Angler to come in here and speed this up. It looks like they're ready to start double blocking. Removing Jasper Sentinels from play is fine with me, because those are the things holding back most of the damage that's being done. I have plenty of cards at this point, so yeah, let's just clear a couple of those out. Gurmag Angler. There's that. Get my Thorn back down. That's just another attacker and another blocker. Play Ice Tunnel and pass the turn. My shields are down. Like, if they just rip, like, lead the Stampede or something here. Oh my god, they ripped Distant Melody. Okay, well, the game goes on. 4 cards in hand now. And Well-Wisher, pain in the ass. Okay. There are only 18 cards in my deck, too. I don't think decking is going to be a problem, but I mean, this keeps happening. Not looking good. Right, I'm going to get my Gurmag Angler and my Thorn into the combat zone. Those are just the things that can kill a blocker or my opponent. I need the other Thorn now. Yeah, that Distant Melody is going to kill me. And draw another card. Ninja. All right, that'll help next turn. But yeah, this Well-Wisher is going to gain them enough life that I might not be able to clock them before I'm out of cards. There are 2 Snuff Outs left in my deck. The Edict is still in there. Edict's not great, but it does make Well-Wisher smaller. Gaining 7 life, not what I'm trying to see right now when I'm attacking for 6 a turn. Oh, right, gaining 14 life. Yeah, right. Faerie Ranger's fucked up. Very real plan here. This isn't like some cheese bullshit or anything. Like, this is very much what Elves does. Right, I'm going to Edict them. Just try to work through their material. They're going to gain another 7 life on the way through. Edict you there. Then attack with my Death Touch creatures and my Gurmag Angler. I'm going to Ninja up one of the Thorns. I do want the extra cards. Like, finding... Even, like, though decking myself is my concern right now, finding the... Every turn I don't remove Well-Wisher is even worse. Right, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to replay Thorn here rather than Flashback Edict, because if a card comes off of the Monarch, I want to be able to cast it. Removal spell? Shit. Alright. Yeah, we're going to die to Well-Wisher. This is what I was talking about on, like, turn 3 or 4 whenever I fought over the first Well-Wisher. And now they have Huntmaster as well. Alright, time to start aggressively managing my clock, because I'm not sure if this game is winnable. Preordained first. Alright, there's Snuff Out. Bottom, top. Snuff out the Well-Wisher. Guess I should attack first. 5/5 and Death Touch creatures are attacking. I can kill the Well-Wisher when they try to untap it, and that might save me some damage. 3, 11. Right, Chainer's Edict. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Try to get some shit out of here. Alright, that's gone. Draw a card. And Well-Wisher untapped. They didn't go for it in the end step. I guess that would have been, like, pretty expensive to do. Right, I'm going to snuff this in response. They can bounce a forest, untap it, but this will at least save me 1 life here. 33. Is it even possible to deal that much damage with 10 cards in my deck? Oh my god, you have Vines of Vastwood and I just clicked right through it? Alright, yeah. I was just, like, busy trying to figure out my math and didn't counterspell the Vines. Yeah, that was frustrating. The opponent, we got them down to 0 cards in hand, and then they just ripped Distant Melody on the turn where... The 1 turn window where it would have resolved. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, Echoing Truth, Suffocating Fumes. I gotta play fast now. I think I do want Edicts, just to control their early development, because, like we saw, their this isn't to remove anything specific, but it's to remove anything at all, because, like, Well-Wisher and Priest of Titania, like, those cards all... Timberwatch Elf, all of those care a lot about just having anything in play. I don't think I want Fairy Seers. Jasper Sentinel just lines up so well against that whole plan. Stormbound Geist is basically True Name Nemesis, but do I want that? Let's see. They're going to have Spider Silk Armors after board. So Stormbound Geist might be worse than I want it to be, and I should just be playing towards Gurmag Angler. Right, if I cut all my Fairy Seers, then what happens? I gotta cut 1 more card. Is it just Spell Stutter? Or no, it's probably Ninja. Then I just have all this extra board control. Yeah, I think I'm just, like, all in on Gurmag Angler. Let's do it. I'm gonna keep this hand. The Snuff Out can clean up turn 1, and then the counter spells will keep subsequent turns kind of clean. We'll see what happens. You need to move the game forward somehow, but... Oh, I guess counterspell doesn't help. Okay, I'm gonna Augur rather than play my second land here. Grab a Preordain. Bottom these. Pass the turn. Like, giving them Llanowar Elf is a little risky, but between, like, the Well-Wisher and all this other shit that they have in their deck, Turn 2, Lead the Stampede's pretty good. I'll have to go to discard. They found 2 Vanguards and a Ranger. Guarded Forest, Preordain, Chainer's Edict, and Thorn of the Black Rose. I don't want Thorn. I will take Edict. Then Ice Tunnel. Get to attack here. And I think I should snuff now, because the Ranger just gets to go nuts with this Llanowar Elf if I don't. Mystic. Ranger. Ranger can pick up Forest. That's the land drop for the turn. Jasper Sentinel. Okay, land lets me Edict and hold up Counterspell. Not even sure if that's good, but I'm doing it. A sec, Quirion Ranger. That's cool. I'm going to counter this Vanguard, because the first creature that resolves lets them Jasper Sentinel. All right, now they can stick the other Vanguard. They actually have 3 mana here. They could lead the Stampede. That's fucked up. Ember Watch. That's also fucked up. Thorn. I don't get to do that here. The bottom both of these. This is so bad. I'm actually going to Thorn here. They can take the Monarch if they want to take a swing for it, but I do have a Death Touch blocker. I can try to swing back. See if I draw Snuff out in the end step. Nope. Okay. Maybe they'll give me credit that I wouldn't just jam the Monarch on an empty board, or on an unprotected board, and they'll play around Snuff out even though I don't have it. That would be great. Ranger, Vanguard. Yeah, having Ranger and Timberwatch gives them just a lot of autonomy over this game. Which card do I want to kill? Probably Ranger. And yeah, I can't win. They have too many blockers here. And just having 3 attackers that can get through. Alright, they don't know what Death Touch does, apparently. It's made their creature a 7/7, just for it to die anyway. Moral victory, but we're definitely losing the game. Now they're the Monarch. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to snuff out the... This is over. We're not coming back. Maybe I was supposed to snuff out the Llanowar Elf, like I said. I kind of was like... Or I didn't recognize that my hand didn't make blue-blue on turn 2. Like I had the Ice Tunnel, 2 Ice Tunnels in a Swamp. So the plan of snuff you out and then counter all your spells just fell apart immediately. And turn 2, load up the hand with Lead the Stampede. Yeah, that just lined up poorly. And I also kept a hand that wasn't pressuring at all. Yeah, a lot went wrong there. This is, I think, supposed to be a good matchup with all your removal and your sweepers and your interaction, but if they get under you, you don't really have a lot of ways to come back from it. Okay, a disappointing 2-3 result with that, but lessons were learned. Like, you can point to specific spots where I made decisions that things spiraled out of control in all 3 of the games all 3 of the matches that we lost. Just didn't quite respect that Mogwarts can go off through a counterspell on turn 4. Didn't respect Glaze Fiend, just took 10 when I didn't have to, just tried to push forward, like sort of lost track of my role in the matchup, which is the control deck, not the tempo deck. Lost that one. And then the that Elves matchup, I mean, we got kind of savagely ripped in game 1. Like, I think I played game 1 extremely well. They just drew Distant Melody off the top on the one turn that they could do that. So those things happen. That's just Magic. But game 2, where saving the snuff out, like I kept my hand on the strength of I can snuff out their turn 1 play and then start turn 2 on a clear board. And I let them have Llanowar Elf, kind of like, I'll save the snuff out for a better target. But Llanowar Elf enabled them to go so wide that the snuff out didn't even matter. And yeah, like, the play patterns matter a lot. Understanding the format matters a lot. Getting fucking got by Vines of Vastwood, game 1 out of Elves. I don't think I've ever seen Vines of Vastwood in an Elf main deck before. I don't know if that's stock or if that's something that player was into. Hard to say for sure. But it certainly worked in that spot. I still love this deck. I love the play patterns of it. I worry about that Grixis Affinity matchup a lot. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing to keep up with that deck, but it's really powerful. Those indestructible dual lands from Modern Horizons 2 are super messed up. The fact that they get 12 Thoughtcast effects now with the Deadly Dispute, the Thoughtcast, and the Bargain thing, whatever that card is. Reckoner's Bargain. Am I making up words? Is that the card? I don't know. But they have up to 12 of that effect if they want them. It's pretty messed up. Pauper's definitely a powerful format right now. I don't know, or like I haven't played enough of it to have opinions on if it's like a cracked format right now, like unhealthy in any way, or if there's just a lot of powerful decks. And I love this deck. I love when I can win a game and point to the smart things I did to win that game where I think other players would have lost it. And I love when I lose and I can point to specific situations where I could have made a different decision that makes me win. I would rather play that kind of Magic than the type that it's just like, oh, well, the 12 cards I drew that game, my opening 7 plus the first 5 turns, didn't get it. Just wasn't good enough, so I lost. Like, I like micro decisions. Even if I end up making the wrong ones, I like knowing that I could have won and figuring out how I could have changed differently for next time. Entirely my jam. I love this deck. Tom, thank you for asking me to play it. Everyone else, thanks for watching, and I will see you for the next video.